The idea behind Monumental Affairs is that we need to determine and understand who canonizes buildings, statues, landscapes, who determines what's important, what's not important, and what happens if those opportunities involve contested histories that make people very uncomfortable.
The 2023 edition of the dieDAS Walk and Talk program is our first anniversary. It's the 5th time that we are actually hosting this conference, and that is a great experience after building up the institution here. What is really special about this conference is that so many different people come from all over the world that are practitioners in design, architects, designers, and they think together and reflect together about the pressing issues of our time.
I was fascinated by the question that is being asked about how to manage contested spaces. Because I come from a country and a continent that I feel like has a lot of contested spaces for different historical reasons. And I was curious to learn and understand and talk with other people that are working with this problem and how they're solving it.
Bei Monumenten denkt man zuerst an sehr langjährigen und unverrückbaren Kulturgut und da eine Auflösung zu finden und eine Aktualisierung zu finden, ist, glaube ich, ein bisschen das Erstreben des diesjährigen Themas.
The contested spaces is a very personal attitude. The fact that it happened is a fact, it's a historical fact. You cannot change it. You can only give it a new life and a positive life and really hope for the future to change the attitudes, to change the history of today.
Das eine sehr interessante, sehr moderne, sehr offene, auch sehr mutige Diskussion ausgerechnet an einem Ort stattfindet, das, sag mal so, wo man solche Diskussionen nicht gerade erwarten würde und das ganz sicher nicht für solche Diskussionen geschaffen wurde. Aber gerade das finde ich das Spannende, weil das ein fantastischer Umgang mit dem Ort ist.
I think the center of dieDAS, what they plan to do to look at, design, how can we live together in the future, is important anywhere and everywhere. But the fact that they're doing it here, in this place that has such a sordid history and a difficult history and a terrible history, gives it a paradox that actually makes its meaning even stronger.
It's not really the space that is problematic. It's not the building in itself, but rather the ideology that sustained the existence of such thing. So I feel like we can fill this space with anything else, and there are possibilities to build on the ruins of such monument.
The history of dieDAS is definitely affected by its legacy. You can't talk about a design academy at the site of a contested, awful, terrifying, and frightening moment in history and then pretend it never happened. So the fact that we're able to acknowledge this and then try to create a better future that's anti-racist, that's decolonialized, and that pushes against a singular ideology, then you have a true academic environment.
What is unique this year is that we have just received our building permit. We're going to start refurbishment and the restoration of the Saalecker Werkstatten maybe this fall, definitely next spring. And so we are really looking at a very, very precise schedule of which building can actually be finished in restoration, when it can be used for the future Design Academy as an academy building, and when we will be able to finish the whole restoration project in a few years.